Hello there, and welcome to the Time Machine with Trish and Mike. I'm Trish.
And I'm Mike. And do not adjust your audio listening devices. I sound like crap.
Yes, we've enjoyed a unusual start to our show with you having a bit of a cold. It's a regular, normal, typical cold. No
Yes.
COVID for you, thank goodness.
Yes, I've tested myself. I'm good. No COVID. This is just normal sick that people used to get, but
Yeah, before people used to freak out about every sniffle.
exactly. So
I am typical Trish, having come to school to record because there is ongoing renovations at my house, as we've discussed over different episodes. And I forgot my Joby stand, and I forgot it's called like a dongle. It's like the worst name, Apple, by the way, for my microphone. So we're just, having the very best show.
but we will power through and get you somewhat of an episode today. It will be a bit shorter and off our usual format, but we are committed to bringing you quality content every week. And I think we've lowered the bar for this week, but be that as it may. How's your week been, Trish?
It's been good. It's gotten cold this last week. So I think like a couple of days ago, it was minus 18 for Canadians and minus 28 with the wind chill, which my brain can't even do that math quickly for you guys. Like 30 is zero. So think if it's minus 28, how much colder it is. I think minus 40 is the same at minus 40 for both of us.
Anytime you're in the minus, it's just straight up cold. Like, could you really tell a difference?
The equivalent would be fallen. So that's all I know.
Jeez.
And we just celebrated Dutch Christmas earlier this week. So that was nice. Those of you that are not Dutch, it's funny, in Europe on December 5th, they celebrated in the morning. In Canada, it's December 6th. So like my girls woke up to little treats in their shoes. And the tradition is always that they get new Christmas PJs.
Nice.
So this year we were introducing their little half brother to it. So he got his own knees and chocolate letter.
Was there a theme to the pajamas, or were they just like kind of general Christmas pajamas?
It's kind of like Adriana is now in the stage where she's like a bigger kid. So she wants like cooler PJs, whereas Julia's still like totally obsessed with unicorns.
Gotcha.
So,
I didn't know if like you did like matching SpongeBob PJs for the family or something or whatever.
Our family tradition's always been to wear like our kirigumis. So on Christmas Eve, we all, like my ex-husband and his wife, we all hang out and wear our kirigumi PJs. So we'll have to get one for Calvin, I guess. Like he'll be 6 months this Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do any? Because we're just kind of winging this episode as we go today. Because
I expect things for you because of early Christmas vibes, right?
Yes, because later on in this episode, I'm actually going to be opening Trish's Christmas present to me. Very much looking forward to that. I've been sitting on this box for several days. I promised I would hold off and open it. And
it was getting it out there after Thanksgiving. So
at the time that I received the box, I was still feeling fine. So as I've told Trish in our pre-show meeting, I blame her because I was not sick until this box arrived.
Well, whoa. We're going to blame Julia because somehow Julia got Uncle Mike sick.
Yes.
She had the exact same awful head cold as you did. Also tested negative for COVID because that is what you do now when you get a head cold.
Yes.
Go and get that swab.
Say it again. You kind of broke up a little bit there.
I was going to say you go and get that lovely nose swab.
Oh, yeah. Lots of fun. Honestly, I think it's nicer when you do it yourself because at least you can have some control over.
Oh, yeah. There's been horror stories and like actually within my own family, like a really bad horror story of like gone real wrong and like we'll visit afterwards.
Oh, not good.
Yeah. Not kind of scary. Not something you want to wake up to when you're having like blood and pounding pain. So
not so much.
I definitely like the self-test more.
Yes. And the kit that I have, you can actually do it 3 different ways. You can do it either like the where you just go in like an inch inside your nostril,
Mhm.
or you can stick it, halfway up to your brain.
Right. Very
Or,
Egyptian style.
right. Or you could even do the mouth swab with the same
Right.
kit.
It was funny when I had to so I got randomly selected on my trip back from Los Angeles to Canada
Of course.
for the random test. And they did a nose, like the little bit in the nose, and then the cheek, which was like, I was like, oh, this is new for me. I was only used to the nose one.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just kind of neat to see the different ways that we can test for this now, But,
yeah. We're going to be connoisseurs of testing after a while.
yeah, right. And for the record, I am wearing my mute button out as I'm pretty much coughing or sneezing or whatever every time Trish is talking. So
Yeah.
just be glad you're not seeing us today. But where I was going with this like 5 minutes ago when I got off on this tangent, Christmas traditions. Is there anything specific that you typically, you said, Christmas Eve, you wear the pajamas and stuff, but is there like, do you open a present on Christmas Eve or?
When I was little, when I was younger, we always drove to my grandmother's on Christmas Eve. And then we always did children's mass. And my dad would take us because he didn't want to wait up for midnight mass. And my mom and my grandmother and my uncle would always go to midnight. And we would sometimes open a present. Like, I think I was trying to start that tradition, but no one else was really having it. Now here in Edmonton with my family here, we always have like Chinese appetizers on Christmas Eve, and we watch a Christmas movie together in our Karagunis.
Yeah, Chinese food is very popular, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day around here. I mean, we don't do it, but because, it's just kind of a regular day to them. They're one of the few places that are open,
Right.
That in movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So other than that, we just chill out, enjoy a couple of like treats like hot chocolate and popcorn, and try and wrangle the kids into bed. And then in the last couple of years, since, my ex-husband and I are apart, we agreed to have a sleepover. So like he and his wife are there and I have my own room and we all wake up. I think this year, because I've actually moved next door to him, the girls were saying we're just going to hang out. And then I think we're all going to try and have a good sleep in our own beds. And then they'll come over to my house this year since I have the girls for Christmas morning. And we'll just do breakfast together, and grandma and grandpa are nearby. So that'll be that.
Good. Well, that sounds nice.
How about you? Any Christmas traditions?
We go out, look at lights on Christmas Eve. Just drive around through different neighborhoods and stuff. Christmas morning, not like I would used to do a present Christmas Eve back when I was like a kid.
Yeah.
Like when I was a real little kid, I didn't even know that was a thing people did.
Oh.
And then I want to say like second or third grade, a friend of mine told me that they did that, and I was immediately like, "Oh, I've got to convince my family to do that." Because I like the sound of that, so I did that for a while when I was a kid. But Christmas morning, get up and do presents, and we would actually used to go out back when my grandparents were still alive. We would go to breakfast on Christmas morning, usually to like IHOP or Denny's or something like that, and then we would go for the afternoon. We would go over to my great grandma's side of the family, would have a big get together. So like my grandma's brothers and sisters and their various, family members, kids and nieces and nephews, the whole deal. But as that generation, kind of died off, we haven't really done anything like that. So Christmas is really like kind of low key at this point. We don't really do much.
Skating too, because my grandparents they live right on the ocean, but they also had a pond where their field used to be when they actually had like a cow and things like that when my mom was little. So my grandfather converted it into a pond, and my uncle would take us skating.
Nice.
That was kind of a Christmas afternoon. But yeah, ours was always really quiet and just, there's not much to do where my mom grew up. So it was very, just immediate family, chilling, napping. Napping's always a good condition.
That's what I look forward to now on Christmas afternoon. It's a nice nap.
Adult win. You're like, yes, now I get why the adults were all like, quiet time.
Right. So something I've actually never done for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day here is Disney. That's a very, very popular day.
That's like a Christmas tradition for people down in Florida.
Oh yeah, there are people who come down here every year for vacation to go Christmas, and honestly, I always tell this to anybody that's ever thinking of coming here in the month of December. Do not, under any circumstances, come to Disney or Universal for Christmas or New Year's. That week is insane. The parks hit capacity. They turn people away. Like, do not do it because you're going to be miserable.
I would never have thought of that because I would think it would be so slow with everyone being home with family.
The trick, and I'm going to let everybody listening in on this because we don't have millions of listeners.
Disney secrets is
If you want to come and enjoy the holidays here at the theme parks, come at the early part of December. So like the first week and a half, because everybody's already gone from Thanksgiving and nobody's here on Christmas break yet.
Actually, you know what? I just had a coworker just came home with she and her husband and mother and their 3-year-olds. They had maybe she's 4. Anyway, they had wanted to go before COVID started and their trip got, and so they finally just went and they went over that week. And actually, it didn't look like there was a lot of lines for her. She didn't come crowds.
No, and especially if you can time it with a cold day down here, it keeps a lot of the locals away. I'll tell you a quick story. I was working at Universal for a little while, about 10 years ago, took a little seasonal job there. And there was one day where, honest to goodness, the high temperature was 52 degrees that day.
Okay, so that's like 18.
Yeah, but that's cold, especially for December here.
For us.
I'm seriously, like, the morning driving into work, I think it was about 27 degrees.
Okay, yeah, that'd be chilly.
So that's below freezing.
Nice.
And I'm not kidding you. There was not a ride in that theme park that day that had more than about a 20-minute wait all day.
Oh.
And that was including the newly, at that time, opened Harry Potter World.
Oh, so yeah, that would be good. So no, note to self, time a trip when I'm not teaching on a cold day.
Exactly.
That's the problem. I'm stuck with the holidays. That I don't know how my friend swung it. Maybe she just saved up her PL days or something. But.
Probably. Well, it's like last year with COVID, they were doing reduced capacity in the parks and stuff. So me and a couple of my friends, Robin and Joey, we actually went on, I think it was like December, I'm going to say 18th or something like that. So about a week before Christmas. And it was very manageable. We went to Magic Kingdom. It was nice because it's all decked out at Christmas. It's very beautiful. But we seriously got to ride Peter Pan. And I have not rode Peter Pan seriously since I was about 5 years old because this thing would always have a 3-hour wait. We waited about 20 minutes for it.
What's so special about the Peter Pan ride? Because I've heard that, like you said, it's popular. What does it entail? I've never seen a video about it.
Well, it's you ride on a ship and it kind of tells the story of Peter Pan. You go through the bedroom and there's the deal with Captain Hook and the alligator, the crocodile, and the whole deal. But there are cooler rides in my opinion in the park, but it's just I think it's just kind of like it's a Small World where it's just such an iconic ride. Everybody has to go ride it because Small World, you can go watch a video of it on YouTube or something. It's a Small World playing in your head for 12 minutes, but it has hours of wait time,
Not something that's on my list to go anywhere.
In fact, when we rode Small World in the afternoon, because it is I'm tired of walking for a little bit, let me take a break and not have to think or do anything kind of ride. And when we were riding it last year, they closed a line off behind us for one of their routine cleanings. So it's we're the last ones on. There's nobody behind us in line. And this is middle of the afternoon. And so when we get off, there's nobody in line. It's like a ghost town. It was so weird.
That would be so bizarre to just be in one of the most popular tourist attractions in the world and just have no one around. I can't even imagine. It'd be like going to the West Edmonton Mall here and we have our indoor amusement park. And it's funny with COVID, it hasn't been busy at all. Now, I deked into the mall last weekend because I needed to grab one thing from a store and the store didn't even have it. Actually, I think the store I was looking for no longer existed because I haven't been in the mall in so long. But the amusement park line was insane. And it was very odd to finally see that again. Maybe it's happening because I haven't been at the mall, but
yeah. There were people in the park, but it was just as you're getting off the ride, that was what was weird.
Right.
So how about Christmas presents? Is there maybe a particular Christmas present you remember as a kid, or maybe a strange present that you ever got?
See, and I think it's really funny. My auntie lived in Florida. She was one of the first Pan Am flight attendants. And when she would send presents, they would always be these clothing from American companies like Banana Republic.
Oh, okay.
Or Club Monaco, right? Like things that I never
brands that you weren't familiar with.
Yeah. And I would be like, oh man, like this is so lame. And my mom would be reiterating, like, no, these are really expensive, like not Canadian clothes. And now as an adult, I reflect on how generous that was and how I was really dumb going into junior high and not understanding kind of like brands. But
Okay.
my uncle and auntie were always really good about finding very like STEM related, so like science and technology, and encouraging me as like a young woman to be more involved in that, because he was an engineer. So he would take the time to build those things with us. So that stands out. But I mean, the biggest thing for me was in grade 9, Santa brought me N64.
Nice.
And a TV in my room. The rule in our household, though, was you always had to have your door open. So like wasn't, unmonitored television time as a teenager. But this was the first time that it was a system that was just for me. And of course, my 2 older brothers were home from university. And
so they're playing with it.
They were playing with me. And my mom didn't realize like the system didn't come with any games. So we had to wait for Boxing Day. So I had it on Christmas Day, and Boxing Day in Canada is like when we have all of our sales the day after Christmas.
Right.
We were driving to my other grandmother's. And so I was like begging them, like, we need to stop at the Mayflower Mall in Sydney on the way to Grandma and Grandpa's house because I need a game for the system. And my mom's like, no, like they'll still have deals like the next day. So then I begged my older brother, who's 9 years older than me, to take me to the video game rental, like the movie and video game rental store.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, but I get to pick the game. And I'm like, okay. I'm so desperate as this like 13, 14-year-old kid for my big brother just to take me. And what does he rent? Big Bass Pro Shop.
Oh, geez.
Or like Big Mouth
Bass or something.
Fishing or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And he's a hunter and a fisher. And so that's what he wanted. And then my other brother wanted GoldenEye. So like, at least I had Raymond on my side.
I was going to say GoldenEye is like legit, real. I still have friends that will play that game from time to time because that game is legit. That's one of the best games ever.
My mom ended up, it was funny. It was a weird deal at the time. It was Ocarina of Time with Perfect Dark. I don't know why they came up with this combination, but those were the games that I originally bought for it. And then we played forever and ever and ever. So,
yeah, it's funny you talk about renting stuff because that would be a thing a lot of times. Like I would get, like a Sega or Super Nintendo or some, game system of some type for Christmas. And yeah, I'd usually get a game or two with it, but I would usually go to Blockbuster, and rent some games or whatever. That was usually a thing I would do a lot on Christmas Day as well.
And then last present that kind of stands out is when I was really little, I always had my brother's leftover hockey skates for when we would skate. Because my dad would take us like every Saturday night, we would go to the arena at the university where he worked, and we would skate, or Sunday night, sorry, because Saturday was for skiing. And I always had these hand-me-down skates. So when I was like 10 or 11, I finally got like a brand new pair of these white female figure skates that had little pink hearts on the sides. And I thought they were just so gorgeous, right? And then I go to put them on and I realized they're not nearly as good as the hockey skates. So I did wear them until they no longer fit, but I went back to hockey skates. But that does stand out, like me pulling out the tissue paper on Christmas morning and opening it.
Yeah, a good pair of hockey skates will last you a lot longer. They may not be the prettiest things, but they will get the job done.
Yep. And I never knew how to like use the special toe on figure skates, so it was just whatever.
Oh, yeah. I'm not that big of a skater, but I do know enough to know that a good pair of hockey skates will last you. As far as interesting presents for me, I always, this is like my go-to story when I get asked this question. So as I mentioned, we would get together with my grandma's side of the family, and a lot of years we would meet over at my great uncle's house because he has a nursery there, like a farm nursery type thing, and still in business today. He'd grow, vegetables and flowers and the whole sort of deal. And so he would usually give every family a watermelon for Christmas, fresh out of his farm. And he knew that I loved pickles.
Mm-hmm.
So have I told this story on here?
I don't remember.
I don't. Well, we're about to. So he had bartered or traded or whatever with one of his farming buddies, to get me a 5-gallon bucket
Oh
of
my God.
pickles. True story. And so I had pickles for quite a while after that.
Like, this is great, lugging it to the car to take it back home for
Oh
Christmas.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. That he thought to do that. So that was pretty neat.
That's a present right there.
I mean, I've got cool stuff. I mean, I've got video game systems and
Mm.
concert tickets and iPads and whatnot. But that, like, if you want a unique gift, that's usually one of my go-tos. One of my other favorite ones.
That's thoughtful, right? Like, that's an uncle that knows, like, my nephew is going to love.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. One of my other ones was you watch Big Bang Theory, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually got to go to old Pasadena, where they, like, it's fictionally set in Pasadena, right? I got to go see the Big Bang Theory street.
Oh, nice. Very cool. So one year, they had a Christmas episode, which I think it's seriously, it's one I watch it every year. It's like, how TV shows, everyone does a Christmas episode at some point, or multiples, and sometimes some just stick with you and you always have to watch them. Well, that's one of them for me. And it's the one, it's season 2, the bath item gift hypothesis. And this is where, Sheldon goes to buy a gift basket for Penny, and it's a whole thing. And so she gives Sheldon a napkin used and signed by Leonard Nimoy, and he loses his mind. And it's a very hilarious scene. If you've never seen it, just throw it on YouTube. Leonard Nimoy napkins. And so one year, my mom gave me that for Christmas. She went out and got like a goldish colored, like a yellowish goldish colored napkin, and she wrote on it "Live long and prosper, Leonard Nimoy," and did like a bogus Leonard Nimoy signature.
Oh my gosh, that's
I like that one.
Yeah, and see, that's like another thing with traditions is, what do you watch? Like, growing up, my grandmother had 3 stations on her. It used to be black and white, and so when I think I was 10, it finally got to be a color TV.
I was just going to say they were probably in black and white.
Yeah. We always watched, because like after my brothers and I came home from children's mass, my dad would sit in the den, which, it's funny, my grandparents' house used to be a doctor's house and office. And so the den is like the waiting room where people would come in off the veranda to wait for the doctor. So it's like this really tiny room and 2 sitting chairs. And we would always watch like It's a Wonderful Life and the Mr. Bean special.
Okay.
Right. And oh my gosh, like that, like for you with the Big Bang Theory, it's Mr. Bean. I have to watch the Christmas special with Mr. every year.
And there's movies as well, of course. Like I have to watch Home Alone. I have to watch Christmas Vacation. I have to watch Die Hard. All the time. I will sit down to start wrapping presents. I will put Die Hard on. I will start drinking eggnog. And within 5 minutes, I am just sitting there drinking eggnog with a bunch of unwrapped presents in front of me because I am watching Die Hard.
I'm with the girls now. Like Adriana really loves Home Alone, or I really like, there's cute, like little short ones that I enjoy. Cause if the girls want to watch something before bed, it's like, well, okay, like we have 30 minutes. So like Prep and Landing's a really cute one.
Oh, I love those. Yes. And Shrek the Halls. Oh,
Shrek the Halls is great.
Yeah.
Really big kid watching them with my kids too. Because I do the same thing. It's like, yeah, let's wrap presents. And then you just start watching.
I seriously actually message Nicole, my friend John's wife, every year when Shrek the Halls is on TV. Because one year she had posted about missing it or something or whatever, and so I literally make it a point every year. I'm like, hey, Shrek the Halls is on tonight.
Aww. Well, and what is it, The Sound of Music's always on between Christmas and New Year's. That's always one that gets watched too, even though it's not really anything about Christmas. I don't know why it's on. Whatever, still good.
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life, that one's always on Christmas Eve a lot here.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then we have TBS will do 24 hours of A Christmas Story. So
I love the story.
Starting at like, I don't know, 6:00 on Christmas Eve, they will play that movie like 12 times.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh,
back to back. Yeah.
One that I can't find that I absolutely loved as a kid was, do you remember when It's like the Muppets meet up with the Sesame Street gang, and they go to Fozzie's grandmother's house. And Fozzie's grandmother is like about to go on, like she's a snowbird, like she's about to go off somewhere warm, like Florida. And there's like this, they keep talking about the icy spot on the doorway. Excuse me. And they're like, mind the icy spot, and everyone slips and falls every single time. And like Swedish Chef sees Big Bird, and he's like, oh my God, like trying to cook Big Bird. And the Fraggles show up, and Kermit is trying to teach his nephew Robin about like the importance of giving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's one of I can't find it to buy anywhere.
I will see what we can make happen for you. How about that?
I had an ex-boyfriend in high school who tried to make a DVD of movies for me, and it never burned properly. It was so disappointing. Very thoughtful, but I was like, oh no.
Well, at least he kept the disappointing theme going for you.
He was a very good boyfriend. Anyway.
Actually, it just occurred to me. I just sent you something, but you can't see it because you're doing.
Wait, can I see it on my watch?
Well, I sent you a link on Instagram.
Oh, I'll have to check it.
Well,
but anyway, that's one of my feel good, like as a little kid movies.
Okay.
Right? CBC.
I'm going to have to just tell you because I need to have your reaction on the show. I just sent you the link to it.
Did you? How did you find it?
It's on YouTube.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
I looked before. Well, I mean, not in the last couple of years because I kind of was like, whatever. I've given up that it's in the ethers of the world. No one really cared about this movie but me. Now I'm going to go home and watch it while I wrap presents.
Yes, you're welcome. So, Merry Christmas, Trish.
Speaking of Merry Christmas, time for you to open your present.
Yes, let's do it because I am going to need to take I've been popping Sudafed like they're Jolly Ranchers at this point. But, all right. So here we go. Let's open this up. All right.
Speaking of Christmas.
So we have a card. I'm always iffy. Are you supposed to open the card? I always think you open the card before you open the gift. That's usually my go-to move but every now and then you'll get somebody who's like, no, don't open the card yet, or something.
Oh no. My mom was like, you open that card and you thank that person. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Trish. I will enjoy this gift of Canadian treats, and thank you for being an amazing friend. All right, here we go. Canada's history.
Oh, yes. I just thought you would be interested in that.
Okay. Very cool. So this is like kind of a history of, I can get the first of a kind 100-year tribute to a Canadian treasure, Queen of the North Atlantic Centennial coin proof.
I know.
Fancy. At least you guys still do that kind of stuff. Here it's like, it's collector coins. It's like, who buys the stuff? Somebody does.
Wait, is there something in the envelope with the card? Did I tape something on there?
Let me look.
Now I'm wondering where I put something. Nope. Okay.
It's just a handwritten note.
It must be somewhere else. Excuse me.
Well, we will not end this show until I get through this whole box. So don't you worry.
I had hot chocolate. So, like.
See, like I miss this. I miss flipping through magazines and having like the subscription card tear-offs. I wonder if I can get this in the States. Probably not.
Or like Reader's Digest or what's the other one? National Geographic.
Yeah, so this is like a bi-monthly magazine of just Canada's history. This is actually really cool.
Like various different and things.
Nice. I'm definitely going to read that. All right, let's see. Trish, you're so good. All right, so we've got Coffee Crisp, which as I'm going through this, explain some of these for our American listeners who may not know what some of this stuff is. So you've sent me some Coffee Crisp. You sent me several of them, which is awesome because I'm actually going to share these with a guy I work with. He loves candy and he loves coffee, and I don't think he's ever had one of these. So I'm definitely gonna treat him to one of these.
There to be old commercials about Coffee Crisp. So it's coffee flavored like wafer chocolates in a bar form. And
think of it like a coffee flavored Kit Kat.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. And they used to have commercials where it's like, how do you like your coffee? And it would be like these old ladies. And they're like, I like it crisp. And then they'd pull like the candy bar out of their purse.
Nice. Okay. So we have a Giver milk chocolate with maple cream bar.
Oh, so that is by the Piece by Chocolate that you sent from my hometown.
Yes.
And Giver is a very familiar phrase in Canada.
And I'm assuming is this a loonie that you have taped to the?
That's where I taped it. Okay, I was wondering where I put it. So that's the toonie.
The toonie. Okay, very nice. And that's worth $2.
$2. And if you flip it over, it's one of the special toonies. It's not one of the original toonies. So it actually features an Indigenous artist that's quite popular in Canada.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it's got Queen Elizabeth on the back, or is that
And
the
then,
front? And then
the front have the I believe it's the orca whale. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's Haida art from Indigenous people of BC.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. I remember I was going to send you like a bunch of Canadian money and then I forgot.
So we actually have, you have just made my mom very happy because she loves these chocolate covered cherries.
Get them there, like Queen Anne's chocolates. Yep. I love those cherry chocolates.
This is exactly like the ones we have here, except we don't have all the French writing on it. But it's Queen Anne's and milk chocolate. Those are the ones she loves. So I'm going to give these to her. She will love them. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap them actually and just be she'll be like, why is this box in French? I don't know.
It's exotic.
There you go. We have some, I love these. You sent these before last time to me. These maple cream cookies. They are basically, think of like an Oreo cookie, basically, but they're maple flavored.
Yeah, Dare's a very known company in Canada. So I know Nick and Aaron always love those ones too. So I'm always sending boxes to California as well.
Now, is it Dare or is it Dare? Or how do you say it?
I always thought it was Dare. I mean, it could be, we could fancy with a French accent.
I mean, there's no like accent mark, so I assume it's just Dare, but
no, it's something good.
Right. Quality Street imported caramels. Okay.
So speaking of Christmas traditions, sorry. Oh my God, we were worried about you coughing, and now it's me who's doing it.
My mute button's easier for me to get to. By the way, it always throws me off when I look at dates on things because I have to double check.
Right.
Because it's like, wait a minute, all the numbers are all out of order because the way you guys do dates. Say again?
Do you guys do date, month, year?
No, we do month, date, year.
Month, okay.
But occasionally you have some places that will do like the year, but because every candy or food company is different, or some do like a funky code system. It's really interesting. It doesn't make any sense, but
not Christmas until you get Quality Street. So my mom would buy those, and you get a big tin, like that's just a little mini tin because I wanted to fit it in your box. And it would go under the tree. And then when guests would come and visit, you would pull out the Quality Street tin and you'd get to share the chocolates. And I remember very distinctly, like every Christmas, because it's imported from Britain, I believe, like it's a British, so part of the Commonwealth, we get access to it. But every year the price would go up and my mother would be like, oh my goodness, the Quality Streets, like they went from basically you could buy them for $10 and now they're like 18 for the big tin.
Okay.
So she would.
So they're just, it's all just chocolate and caramel. There's no like different, it's not like a box of chocolates where something's a raspberry or something's whatever. They're all the same. They're just different shapes and sizes.
No, there are different flavors and different shapes, and the color indicates what kind they are. So you'll have a little thing inside that tells you what each one is.
Okay, good. Yeah, because that's how like a lot of novelty boxes will have here. And it even says on here, by appointment to Her Majesty the Queen, manufacturers of Nestle products, Nestle UK Limited, Gatwick. So these are from Europe. Thank you.
We would always, my brothers and I would fight over the green triangles. So
we have, I'm assuming this is ketchup flavored popcorn seasoning?
Because I couldn't send you ketchup chips because I'm always worried that the bag's just going to like pop in a box. I decided to send you ketchup flavoring for your
good idea. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will try that for sure. Now, I see there's something wrapped. I'm going to save that for the end. I'm assuming that's going to be like more of a gift. We have, they still make these?
I didn't realize you guys didn't have O. Henry's until like a couple of weeks ago when I was talking to Nick and Aaron, and we were watching a movie and I pulled out an O. Henry and they're like, what chocolate bar are you eating? And I'm like, an O. Henry? And they're like, what's an O. Henry? I'm like, you guys don't have O. Henry's? How did I not know that this was a Canadian only thing? So then I bought some for them for Nick's birthday package, and I was making your package. So I'm like, I'm going to throw in some O. Henry's.
I appreciate that. I have heard of these. I don't know if I've ever had one, but I swear I've had or something very similar to this. Maybe it was like an O'Harry or something. I don't know.
So good. I love anything with peanuts. So.
All right. So we get, and by the way, you sent this at the right time of the year because, it's been kind of cool down here because that's the thing.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, we did one of these during the summer for our birthdays, and like everything was, because it's been riding around in 90-degree heat all day in the mail truck. So everything was kind of melted. So I had to let everything cool. So we've got O. Henry's. Okay. And we have Arrow bars.
Yeah, love Arrow bars. They're like, I don't even know what you would have comparable. They're just like chocolate, but they're designed such a way that they have like little holes all in them.
Yeah, they're very airy.
Very airy and light.
We have Belgium Waterbridge chocolate letter M. I'm assuming the M just for me.
A very Dutch Christmas. You get your chocolate letter.
Okay.
So you have your M.
And of course, some Tim Tams.
Some Tim Tams. You got to do a Tim Tam Slam.
Yes. Remind us again, what is a Tim Tam Slam?
These Tim Tams, they're again a kind of wafery, chocolatey little rectangle. And you got to bite just a little bit off one of opposite corners. And then you have hot chocolate or coffee, whatever you want. And you use it like a straw. You suck up a bit of the hot chocolate or the coffee until you just get it in your mouth. And then you pop the Tim Tam in your mouth and it's all like melty and yummy and delicious.
Sounds good. And then we've got Smarties.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Smarties ever since I went with the natural flavors and dyes. Like, give me those chemicals. They taste like a kid. And Smarties in Canada are not Smarties in America. Like, you have the little powdered candies. These are actually M&M type things.
Like thinner. Think of like a thin M&M.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have Kinder eggs, which
they're illegal in your country.
Yes. They because they have a toy inside, and we used to have them, and then they were like, oh, these are not good for people to just,
which is crazy because you guys have, like, for us, they're little kid toys, right? Like my kids will they're good at the grocery store. They're like, please, can I have a Kinder egg? You're like, yeah. But like they're illegal for you guys, which is mind-boggling to me. But you guys can have the walkers for little kids that have wheels, which we're not allowed in Canada because kids have gone off stairs and off of decks with them, and right, like they're not safety approved in Canada. But
I mean, I should add, we do have Kinder eggs. We just don't have toys inside them like you.
Oh, they're just
chocolate eggs. Yeah.
Oh, lame.
I know.
But makes them.
All right, and so last but not least, unless I've missed something, I think this is the last thing in here. Which nice wrapping job, by the way.
Yay! Thank you.
Because there are some people that do not know how to wrap, so at least you have that going for you. So that's good. I would think all your years of wrapping presents for the kids probably paid off. Oh, and I like the dual-sided wrapping paper.
Great.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Hopefully you don't have this one.
I do not.
Yay!
So Trish has sent me a Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters Funko Pop, the marshmallow covered one. So thank you.
You're welcome. Happy late Ghostbusters Day too.
Yes, I like it. Thank you. And it even, since it's from Canada, it's got some of the writing in French and Francais. Oui. At least I assume that's not on American. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't pay attention enough to them. No, because it even says here distribution by Europe and Australia and whatnot. So thank you, Trish. I appreciate all of this. I will. I have dinner now, so thank you for that.
Yeah, you can have a little treat. Go take a nap. Although I don't know, what is it? They say sugar is not great when you have a cold.
When I have a cold, I don't really care. I just eat whatever I feel like. Because, when you're sick, it's like, I kind of feel like eating. I kind of don't feel like it. Well, that sounds good. Should I eat this? Probably not, but I don't care. It sounds good and it tastes good. And I don't care.
I always get when I'm feeling down. It's like, yep, nice, hot Vietnamese soup. That's where it's at.
Good. Well, thank you, Trish. You did good. I appreciate all this. This was just what I needed this weekend. That's for sure. So.
Every time I something, then I'm like, oh, I could have sent this. Like now I'm thinking, oh, I could have sent Swedish berries. But anyway, next package.
Yeah, there you go. Next package. Well, thank you, Trish. And thank you all for, hopefully you made it this far through this episode that has been somewhat capable of you listening. I don't know. Yeah, just whatever.
Our mini Christmas edition.
Yes, this has been our this may wind up being our Christmas episode, in fact. So Merry Christmas, Trish, and Merry Christmas to all our listeners out there. We thank you for your support over this last year as we've done this show, and we are looking forward to continuing the show in a new format next year. With that said, Trish, do you have anything that you want to add?
It's all right. If you have any questions, concerns, queries, or freak out, you can get a hold of us on Instagram at The Time Machine with Trish and Mike, The Time Machine with Trish and Mike at gmail.com. You can throw that into YouTube and find us. You can go to Anchor and you can leave us a voice message. Hint, hint, this is going out to Nick since he told me he had questions about an episode a couple of weeks ago and did not go to the Anchor app and leave his audio. So I'm calling him out.
Somebody just got called out.
So just know that is a possibility, and we look forward to all comments and questions on our various social media platforms.
And freakouts.
And our freakouts. I mean, that is definitely a part of daily life lately.
Yes. Yes. But seriously, though, thank you, everybody, for this last year and for the support and for listening. And we'll catch you next time right here on The Time Machine or whatever we call this show in the future. We'll figure something out. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.